What is going on, guys? T-Dot here, and today we are back for another episode of the Chicago Cubs franchise here in MLB 14, the show. So, in this one, it's going to be the off-season for year 3 it is, 2016, so 14, 15, 16. This is year 3 off-season. So, we finished the season at 75 and 87, so the regular season has come to an end. We finished 21 games back from the Central lead, and the wild card we finished 12 games back, so we were pretty far out. We were ranked the 4th overall team in the league, and we ended up finishing 21 games back from our division. So we definitely could be in contention next year if we have a good offseason. Let's take a look at some statistics. Yelich led us off. He batted 291, hit 10 homers. Brantley, he was bottom part of the order for most of the season. He batted 240 and 9 homers. We're probably looking for another option in center field. Freeman, pretty solid season, 31 bombs and 280 average. Baez, 280 average, 24 home runs. Quinton, we might bring him back. How many years? Did we sign him for 1 year? Yeah, we might bring him back next year. 262 average and 20 homers. Addison Russell was injured for most of the season. He batted 234 with 7 homers. We're definitely looking for more out of him. Jorge Soler had a decent season. Only had 135 at bats, 6 home runs, and batted 274. Chris Bryant 270, 21 homers, and Castillo 260 and 18 homers. And then on the bench, you can just see like that. Blake Swihart held his own, and he should be a pretty good catcher next season. We might make him the starter in the upcoming season. And Ruggiano only had 7 at-bats, so that's why he batted 400. Pitching rotation-wise, Danny Salazar was in contention for the Cy Young, as well as Danny Hultzen was also in contention for the Cy Young, I'm pretty sure. We'll have to take a look at that after. Danny Salazar went 16-11 with a 2.84 ERA. Taijuan Walker 10-13 with a 3.84 ERA. Hultzen 19-6, 3.22 ERA. So that's a solid start to a rotation for upcoming seasons. Those 3 guys should be very, very solid. Dan Shirley 5-11, 4.24 ERA. We're definitely going to be looking for somebody to replace him, possibly in the organization. And Henderson Alvarez held his own as a 5th starter, 10-12 with a 3.72 ERA. So yeah, we should have a solid rotation in the upcoming season. And the bullpen, you can see Pedro Strop closed games for us. He had 30 saves, had a sub-4 ERA. Blake Parker, 4.34 ERA. Simmons, 4.61 ERA. You can see these guys right here. Nobody really had a solid year in the bullpen. But next year, we're probably going to be looking, in the offseason for next year, we're probably going to be looking for a lot better of a bullpen, because our bullpen really sucked this season. So we might not be bringing many guys back from the bullpen if they have contracts expiring. And we're going to check the awards. Gold Glove for Henderson Alvarez and Michael Brantley. Cy Young Award goes to Danny Hultzen. So Danny Hultzen actually wins the Cy Young, 19-6. 3.22 ERA. It's something weird that it has happened for many years in MLB The Show. It's pretty much whoever has the most wins gets the Cy Young, and it's pretty much the opposite in real life now. If you have a bunch of wins, doesn't mean you're going to win the Cy Young. You have to have like a low ERA, a low WHIP, and Danny Hultzen had a 3.22 ERA, and I guess we can't check his WHIP because it's in the playoffs, but he definitely didn't have a Cy Young caliber season with that 3.22 ERA. Like, there's other guys that should have won it, but it's nice to see Danny Hultzen gets the Cy Young Award. But we definitely want to finish at least 500 next season. We could make a push for a playoff, depending on how nice our offseason goes. And I didn't see who won. So Detroit and Washington. Washington won it in Game 7. So we're getting into the offseason. Manager Kirk Smart decided to retire. And retired players, J.J. Hardy retired at 34. Grady Sizemore, Ben Zobrist at 35. Carlos Beltran, Teixeira, Koji, C.J. Wilson, Kristen Norfia, Ryan Hannigan, Giovanni Soto, Jose Veras, Nick Swisher, Johnny Gomes, Chris Stewart, Coco Crisp, Michael Kadire, Neil Kotz, Scott Harrison, Anthony Gose retired with a dislocated ankle. That sucks. So Anthony Gose is gone. This guy was nothing, but he retired from injury. Anybody else? Matt Holliday, he's 37. David Cabrera, CC Sabathia, Dustin Pedersen. He retired because of an injury, torn MCL. Carlos Ruiz is gone. And that looks like it. So, yeah. Now let's get to our contracts. Christian Yelich. He needs a contract. We'll offer him... We have tons of cap. 25 years old, we'll offer him a 4-year contract for $7 million. And if he doesn't accept that, we can offer him arbitration for $3 million. So 4 years, $7 million sounds good for me. Shea Simmons is one guy that I would like to bring back. He's young. He's solid arm. 26, we can offer him a 3-year deal for 1.5 if we can do that. 3-year 1.5. Spencer McNair. This guy might be in our rotation next season. He had a very solid. He's really improved. Sorry, 83 overall, 8 potential, and he's 20 years old. So he'll probably be in the rotation next year. See if we can do one of those glitch deals. 10 years, $200K. That's awesome for Spencer McNair. Emilio Bonifacio. We're definitely not paying him that to be like a bench player. AJ Ramos, we'll see how much he wants. We'll give you a 2-year deal at $2 million. How old is he? 30. 2-year deal, $2 million, and we'll offer him arbitration for 1.5. Kyle Hendricks. Yeah, we might as well bring Kyle Hendricks back for a 2-year deal. There we go. Carlos Quentin. If he wants a 1-year deal, 1.5, we'll bring him back for like a bench bat. But anything more than that, we probably won't sign him. Henderson Alvarez, 26. We can offer him a 2-year deal, $2 million. Looks good to me, and we'll offer him arbitration for almost $2 million. Wellington Castillo. He's just going to be a backup this year, probably to Sweetheart. So we can make him an offer for that and offer him 1.6 arbitration. Nate Shearholtz. We don't need to bring Shearholtz back. And then after that, it's pretty much just prospects and stuff. So I'm going to cut here, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so we have all the contracts offered. There's a couple notable ones. All these deep potentials and stuff, especially John Baker, we didn't offer a contract to. But there's a couple notables, like here, Ray Chacin, the guy we drafted in year 1. He's like one of our top prospects. And we offered him $2 million over 10 years, and he's probably going to accept that. So that's a nice contract there. Blake Parker, we decided to bring back. He's had nice years in the past. He just had a struggling year last year. So I think he will be solid next year. Hopefully, he will be solid next year. And then we pretty much signed everybody else. Like, we didn't bring back Ruggiano, Edwin Jackson, Nate Shearholtz, Bonifacio, and that's pretty much it except for these deep potentials down here. So hopefully all these guys re-sign. Like, Yelich is really important, like guys like that. Alvarez, Yelich, Castillo, Blake Sweetheart's in there. We offered him a 10-year deal as well, I believe. So we have everybody signed pretty much, except for a couple guys. So let's sim another day. Almora, this guy, Sierra. A couple of these guys we might have to offer. No, we don't have to offer arbitration to these guys, but let's up these offers a little bit because we can't go to arbitration with these guys because their service time, I guess, isn't up, or it hasn't started, my bad. But let's keep going here. A couple more guys. B potential and a B potential. Yeah, we might as well just extend a little bit more for these guys to make sure they stick around. And we can also offer arbitration to Moises Sierra just in case. There we go. So looks like Sierra might go to arbitration, and let's take a look at the free agents. We have tons of cap room, and a guy like Jay Bruce is probably a guy we're going to be going after. A right field power bat. If you look at our organization, okay, in right field, Jorge Soler played decently last year, but Jay Bruce is a huge upgrade. And then in center field, that's another hole we have. We want to add somebody in center field. We don't have any prospects, like top prospects, in center field either, so we're probably going to be trading for a center fielder with all of our trade chips that we have. We have tons of trade chips. Yelich is solid in left. Russell's going to be playing at short. Third base is going to be Chris Bryant. Second is going to be Baez. Freeman's going to be at first, and then it's going to be like either Gary Sanchez or Blake Sweetheart. at behind the plate, or you could even move one of these guys for a catcher, and we might trade for like a starting catcher this season because we're really going to go for it this season. And also we need some bullpen help, and then the rotation solid. We could add one more pitcher, but I think Salazar, Walker, McNair, Hultzen, and Ramos, I think that's a solid rotation. I think we could be going into the year with that. That's one lefty, my bad. So one lefty and the rest ready. So we're going to be pushing for Jay Bruce. Yeah, he wants a max deal. He's 29. That'll take him to 34. Let's see if we'll do a 4-year deal. Shorten that contract up a little bit. Rotation-wise, there's nothing that we really need to go for. Alexio Gondo, Troy Patton. Yeah, nothing really in the bullpen. We don't want to stretch for a guy like Ogondo and have to give up a pick. But a guy like Ernesto Frieri or Casey Janssen could help. How are their years last year? Both had sub-3 ERAs last year for the past... Okay, so for him, past 3 years, he's had a sub-3 ERA. The past 4 years for Janssen. So I wouldn't mind stretching for both of these guys. Janssen, max I'll do is 1 year because he's 35. I'll do 1 year, 10 mil. And how old is Frieri? I'll do 2 years, 11 mil. So these are huge contracts we're giving out for relievers. But we'll do it, I guess. And then catchers, nothing there. First base, nothing there we want. We don't need Bonifacio back for the price he was asking. Chris Johnson. Could we bring in Chris Johnson as like a... No, we don't need Chris Johnson. Brendan Ryan, the whiz with the glove. No, we don't need him. Gregor Blanco. Don't really need him. Chris Heisey, Eric Young Jr. would be great speed off the bench. Peter Borges is a guy we could go for as potentially fourth outfielder, but if we don't trade for a center fielder, he could be our starting center fielder, my bad. But we could probably only offer him like 10 mil because we'll be close to the cap. So we'll offer, how old is he? 29. We'll offer him a 4-year deal for 10.2 mil. So huge contracts being dealt out by the Cubs here. And let's see if any of them sign the first week. None of them do. It looks like Casey Janssen accepted the Brewers offer, 30 mil over 4 years. So I guess he just wanted that more than a 1-year deal when he's 35. Jay Bruce, oh man, we offered him the max we could, and the A's get him for much less. So we don't get Bruce or Janssen. So with that, we could probably up the offer on Ernesto Frieri. What are these guys offering? 2 years, 16 mil. 5 years, 49 mil. We'll go 2 years. We'll bump it to 12.5. Another mil and a half for the next, like each year for the next 2 years. Then other than that, we can up Borges' offer. We'll go 4 years. We'll go 12 mil because we need Borges now that we don't get Jay Bruce. Because I don't think we have enough trading assets. Well, we probably do, but I don't want to give up enough trade assets to get 2 outfielders. And yeah, so let's check, see if there's any guys that we need to add to the 40-man. 40-man. Rish Yassin, nope. You, Alex Tejada. You, Bo Levette, Spencer McNair. Now we're getting into B potentials, and we have tons of B potentials, so we'll check the top couple, but other than that, yeah, our 40-man should be good, and all we need is for a couple of these guys, oh my god, Peter Borges signed with them for, that's like 6 or 7 mil a year. We're getting snaked here. So it's pretty much down to Ernesto Frieri. That's pretty much it. We could bring in like a John Jay type, but that's not much of an improvement. We're probably going to be needing to do a lot of trades here now that these guys don't want to sign with us. I can see why somebody wouldn't want to sign with the Cubs, but they're looking pretty good with all this young talent. Moisés Sierra has accepted the Cubs. Ernesto Frieri. We can't sign anybody. We overextended for freaking like 4 or 5 guys, paying them like 3-4 mil, like more than the other teams a year, and none of these guys sign. I guess we have to start winning before we can haul in for big free agents. Alright, so we'll go to the Rule 5 draft. Kyle Hendricks, that guy was from our team, but we really don't need him. A.J. Cole, Colin Moran. That guy was part of the Astros and Marlins trade. Chris Anderson. Let's check this draft. Alright, so this guy is 55 overall. So yeah, we're definitely not going for him. Could we go for some relief help? There's nothing really there. Alfredo Ceves. Nothing really here in this draft that we really need to extend for. Yeah, there's nothing really we need here. Gavin Cicchini. Bubba Starling. Bubba Starling could be like a fourth outfielder. Yeah, we'll pick up Bubba Starling and that'll be our one pick. Alright, so we're going to cut here. Well, no, we'll go up to the preseason because there's a bunch of teams that have guys that are like unsigned that they can't trade or something. So let's hire our coaches right now. We need a manager, and that's it. Let's go for Tommy Fryer. $4 million, 3 years. Sounds good to me. There we go. So we got our one coach, and he accepts. So we're going to simulate up to the end of the offseason. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we are here at the end of the offseason. So we're going to sim until spring training, and let's check out this lineup. So starting pitcher-wise, we got Danny Salazar, Taijuan Walker, Spencer McNair, Danny Hultzen, and Steven Ramos as the rotation for the upcoming season. So we need to call up McNair and Ramos. So there we go. Dan Straily can be sent down. Henderson Alvarez might be part of a trade chip. So does he have options left? Yeah, we can send Henderson Alvarez down. And Grime, he cannot be sent down because we don't want him to go through waivers. And we could potentially be moving him. So that's going to be the rotation right there. That is going to be the bullpen, I guess, for now, unless we make trades. There could be a potential trade for behind the plate. Freeman, Volchevik, or whatever. That looks good. Looks good. Valbuena needs to be sent down. We might call up Theo Murphy. Yeah, we'll probably call up Theo Murphy as like the utility infielder. Levitt is going to be sent down. Still, he's definitely like a candidate to be traded away because he's getting up there and he could be challenging for Addison Russell, but he's not going to be challenging for Addison Russell with those hitting stats, and I don't think he's proven he can hit. Look at those stats. 53, 35, 56, and 52 for the contact and power rating. So he's definitely not going to be pushing for that shortstop role. We got Yelich, Quinton, and then we got Brantley, Soler. So we could potentially go into the season with this lineup, but we definitely want to make some trades to improve like the bullpen and the outfield. So we'll set the lineups after we make some trades, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we have found a trade. This first trade is going to be Jorge Soler, 28 years old. He's a pretty decent hitter. If we can get this deal to go through without him. Alright, I'd rather do it with Almora. So we can do Almora, Stevie Ramos, sorry. We have tons of depth in pitching for like a fifth starter type guy. So we don't need Steve Ramos. I know he's going to turn out to be something a little bit better, but we don't need Ramos. And we're giving up Roosevelt Wilkins for Will Myers, 26 years old, 8 potential, 90 overall. Great hitting stats. He's going to be a star right fielder. And that'll leave one hole in the outfield for now. So that'll put that'll definitely solve our right field role. So we got Yelich in left, Myers in right. That center field job, we're still going to be looking for somebody at least for now. So I'm going to look for some more trades. In this next trade, we're probably looking for a center fielder, definitely some bullpen help, and potentially some rotation help after giving him McNair, like trading away some of this depth and getting like a top of the line starter. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I found a trade here. It is Luis Pena, 19-year-old second baseman, B potential, 71 overall, and Taijuan Walker, pretty much our number 2 starter, but he's not been a number 2 quality starter for the last few seasons, so he's not shown what he can do. So we're moving him for Marcus Stroman, a guy who's a higher overall, pretty similar. What's Taiwan Walker's age? A little bit older, 1 year older, but he's pitched a lot better than Taiwan Walker has. And we're also getting some bullpen help in Venters and Steve Delabar, who Venters has been pitching well, but looks like Steve Delabar hasn't. So hopefully we can turn around Steve Delabar. But a solid trade there. That'll make our rotation. We're going to make it... it's going to be Holtzen number 2 because he did win Cy Young last year. So it's going to be Salazar, Holtzen, Stroman, then I guess we could toss Grime in there for now, and then like Danny Duffy swaps out for McNair, and then the bullpen can be. We still want to get. We could. I think we're gonna have Shea Simmons as closer this year. I think he can hold it down. He had 7 saves last year, but he wasn't even it wasn't even closing for us. But Venters is going to be set up, Strope. So I think this really solidifies our bullpen. We can send down Beeler, and Delabar is going to be there. So yeah, we can send down Beeler, and then other than that, that's a solid bullpen. 2 lefties in Duffy and Venters, and then the rest of the righties, hard throwing, most of them at least. So that's a solid bullpen right there. And we might be done for trades, but I'm going to go look at one more time to see if we can get a center fielder. Alright guys, so we have found the final trade. This trade is involving a few different parts. So the first part is we're getting Jock Peterson, a young left fielder who can really hit, play defense as well. In real life he's a prospect for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's 81 overall, 24 years old, and he has B potential. So he can be playing in left field, and we are going to move the left fielder Christian Yelich into center field, where he sometimes plays in real life. So the outfield is going to be Peterson, Yelich, and Myers. And then we're going to also have Soler and Brantley off the bench. So we have tons of depth in the outfield now, and we've really improved the outfield. And Jock Peterson, Christian Yelich, and Will Myers are all 26 or younger. So it's nice to see that. We're giving up Bo Levitt, a guy who I said I didn't mind giving up because his hitting stats are really not up to par. We're also giving up Carlos Quentin because once we get Jock Peterson, we're gonna have way too many outfielders, and it'll probably just get waived. So it's not much of a big deal that we're giving up Carlos Quentin. And then we're also giving up Gary Sanchez. We have Blake Swihart coming up, same age, but Swihart is A potential to Gary Sanchez's B potential. And we had to just decide between one of the two to give up in this deal. And we're also getting back Devin Mesoraco, who is going to probably be the starter over Wellington Castillo. So it's going to be Mesoraco and Castillo. Sweetheart's going to be in AAA. We definitely need to pick up like some more catchers in a random deal because we only have 3 catchers for our whole organization after this deal. So it's going to be Mesoraco and Castillo in the bigs, and we're also picking up a Willis Cohen, 56 overall, 22 years old, A potential, left-hander. He might not even make it, but he's A potential, young, and he could still make it. So that's I think it's a very good deal for us, and I pretty much already explained it. So I'm going to set the lineups, and I'll cut right here, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we have the lineups set up. It's going to be Yelich in center, Myers in right, Freeman at first, Baez at second, Russell at short, Chris Bryant at the third, Peterson in left, Soler at DH, and Mesoraco behind the plate. So we still need to call up one guy for the bench, but we'll deal with the rotation for now. Who is the fifth starter? Sorry, we were gonna call up. I guess we can call up C.J. Edwards now, a guy that started off in the organization, a Cubs prospect in real life. I think he's the only one on here that actually is, because we made a ton of trades to improve this roster. The bullpen's going to be Shea Simmons, Johnny Venters, Pedro Strop, Steve Delabar, Pistano, Ramos, and then Duffy in the long relief. So that all looks good. And I already read over this. We need to call up one more guy. So it's not going to be a catcher. It's not going to be first base, second base. It could be Marco Hernandez. I think that's who it's going to be. Marco Hernandez. Because he's good defensively. can hold his own defensively at short, and he can play all around the infield. So that's nice to have. Theo Murphy also can play second base. So we got a lot of utility. Brantley in the outfield. So yeah, we should have a solid chance of making the playoffs this year. We're the third-ranked team in the league, but we do have the first-ranked team in the league in our division in the Cardinals. So we should be able to maybe pick up a wild card, possibly. We'll see how things play out. But we are the third-ranked team, but you never know until things play out during the season. So that's going to do it. Well, we can check out this. Do we actually... Oh, Danny Salazar led the league in strikeouts, and Danny Holton led the league in wins. So that's nice. Didn't even check that last year. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Hopefully you guys are excited for finally a good Cubs team with a bunch of high overall guys, but they have to prove it on the field. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.